This is ACOFAE. Laura Marie and Jessica Marie proudly present a collection of fandoms and exploration, a podcast. Fair warning, everything the hosts say is explicit, full of spoilers and adult content, and shall not be used against them. They have opinions. Let's try not to drag anyone for expressing themselves and just have fun for an hour. We all deserve it.
This episode contains spoilers from History, The Mummy, and The Mummy Returns, with mentions of Hook, Jumanji, and National Treasure. For full list, please see show notes.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to ACOFAE, your weekly deep dive into the fantasy, literature, and fandoms that we love. I'm Laura Marie.
And I'm Jessica Marie.
And today we are discussing the mega hit, The Mummy Returns.
Which, I remember we were talking before we even started. I didn't see this at all. I had thought I had seen it, and I know why I thought I had seen it, because I was familiar with the dagger scene between Rachel and Patricia, but I never actually saw the whole thing. So I think that fight scene was just kind of ingrained in my mind, which is what made me think I saw it, and I could not believe it. And I absolutely loved it. Absolutely obsessed. I watched it twice to prepare for this episode. Partly because, there's a lot of reasons. One, you need to. And there's also no limit to how many times you should watch this. And two, you're just distracted the whole time because what the fuck? Every single person is so hot. I don't know if I forgot. We've seen the first one. It has the same exact cast, but they're still just so hot and you're just so distracted. You're like, oh, they're telling you what the bracelet of Anubis is. Let me go back a couple more times, because every time I try to hear Ardith talk, I get distracted again. I don't know what he's saying.
Ardith is stunning. He's gorgeous. He's just the most, he's so hot. This cast is problematic. They're so hot. It's so ridiculous.
Hot. You've met them. You've seen them in person. You know exactly the level of hot they still have.
Yes, and including a Noxinamun. So I've met them except for Rachel. Rachel is not there. But
I can speak on Rachel. Yes.
I can speak on the actress that played Noxinamun. Yes. Incredible, friendly, wonderful people. So obviously, Jessica Marie says that she has never seen this. A crime.
I'm actually mad at my family for not saying go off and go watch the movie with your brother, or you know what, this is going to be our family night movie. It's going to be fine for everybody. We'll all agree upon it. Especially when I come from a family of history nerds. I don't know why it wasn't on their radar either to say okay, we're going to watch this and you're going to learn some shit and then you're going to go to the library. And I'm just mad. I'm mad at everybody.
Cause it is. And let's talk, we're saying it's a massive hit. So this is 2001. Major hit, right? Let's see, 435 million worldwide on a $98 million budget. Making it the highest grossing film in the original franchise. And it kicked off the summer movie season with record-breaking opening numbers. However, critics, no, this is not a good movie. This is not a good movie. But its box office performance cemented its status as a blockbuster, proving that it was far from a flop movie. So that is something. So,
well, let's not forget also that this was picked up the morning after the first one, The Mummy, which was released in 1999. The sequel was approved the next morning. Didn't even have to wait for anybody. They were like, we're having a second one. And they did. And it was great. And people need to learn how to have fun, because it's always the critics. They want to be so judgmental. Okay, is the CGI great? It's, we're having this conversation in 2026. No, but there's also stuff in 2026 where the CGI still isn't great. So, and this is earlier. This is in 2001 where it wasn't good. But you know what? You're not there for the CGI. You're there to have fun and enjoy it. And for what it is, it's still enjoyable.
It is still enjoyable. All right. I want to set the scene. So I love this movie, obviously. I mean, come on. If you know me at all, you know that I love this.
Because I know one of your hyperfixations was Egyptology.
Yes.
And so but that was established before these movies.
Yes. Oh, see, we didn't even talk about this and you just led me into this so perfectly. Okay. We did not discuss this prior. All right. So yes, I had a hyperfixation on ancient Egypt. I really loved it. Okay. I saw these movies. I saw The Mummy and then I saw this. I saw this in the theater. And I have another topic that I'm going to bring up, but we're going to talk about this one first. So, this movie was I say one of, and I'll talk specifics in a minute. But it was one of the first movies that I saw with my own two eyes that showed me ancient Egypt, what it looked like. We're in flashbacks here, where, we have pyramids. We're all in the paint. It's not just Imhotep and Anck-Sin-Amun. Spoiler, I guess. Evie's there too.
Spoiler history,
I guess. I mean, it's like all of this stuff, like, we're looking at the temples, we're looking at things in color, armies, how, the cities, how they used to be, like, in all of their splendor, throne rooms and, like, costumes and things. Oh, no, now don't come for me. I know it's not accurate. Don't come for me. We're not taking this serious. What I'm saying is this is one of the first movies that showed that to me. And it was like kind of taking it a little bit serious. And it wasn't like, there's a movie that was out semi-recently that has like Jamie Lannister in it. It's like Kings of Egypt or whatever, where it's all white people playing don't watch that movie. But that is like, they take it really seriously and it's all CGI and it's all really bad and it all looks awful. This is like a little bit more grounded. And this is one of those first instances. And it's interesting because The Mummy came out in 99. What also came out in 99, and this is something that I want to talk about, Jess, that I think might blow your mind, is in 1999, there was a Cleopatra miniseries that came out, produced by Hallmark Entertainment, gang. And it starred, are you ready for this? Timothy Dalton as Julius Caesar, Billy Zane as Mark Antony, Rupert Graves as Octavius, Sean Pertwee, who's the guy that played Alfred Pennyworth in Gotham, the TV show that was on him, as Brutus, like stacked cast.
For Hallmark?
Yes.
Fuck.
For a TV miniseries.
That's
like... It's so good. So that came out in 99. The Mummy came out in 99. This came out in 2001. And so this movie like became a super hyperfixation for me because not only is it has like two major stars like Billy Zane, hello, Timothy Dalton, so hot as Caesar, but it is all ancient Egypt. So I was like really into it. So then I saw this on the big screen, which obviously I didn't see this on the big screen. It was like, wow, because when I go back and I look, and I went back and I looked, and like the 10 Commandments, 1956, like I saw that in class. I never saw the Egyptian that came out in 1957. I might look into that. It follows an physician's journey in the court of Akhenaten. So that might be really interesting. We might look into that. But then of course we also saw Cleopatra with Elizabeth Taylor, and like that is a classic, but that's not like remotely real. You know what I mean? Like that's a fantasy. So that's different. And then Agora is actually pretty good. And that's about Hypatia, and that is set in Alexandria, but that didn't come out until 2009. So like there was this,
of course, like all your Egyptian-based movies, like, and I don't even want to say lore, because one of the things that we talked about in our Nefertiti episode is these are real people. This isn't like when we talk about Greek mythology and we have the gods. Like, this is fucking real. And that's so cool.
It's so cool. It's so awesome. Okay. So my point with this is that I was in awe of this, especially like the fight scene, not for the very sexual reasons, but for the like, oh my gosh, like it is all gold. Like that is the pharaoh, like that's Seti, that's the pharaoh. Like,
and the richness, because I know that that's something that we spoke about in the book. And then, I mean, you have shared your travels for when you went to Egypt, and we even see it now that pigmentation that we are still seeing today in 2026, that's only a portion of how vibrant and rich it was then.
Yeah, so it was really just wonderful for my hyperfixation. So obviously I was just completely in love with this. Now, before we start talking about the movie, and I promise we will, I'm going to pivot and mention again that I saw this in the theater, and I saw this with one of those movie crowds where everybody's in on it and you're cheering and you're yelling.
It's a good movie experience. Okay.
And there's like, this was back in the day, right? 2001. You're throwing the popcorn. You're like, hooray! Like you're clapping, like super fun. I had the
people had
best
fun
experience.
At the movies.
Yeah. Yeah. It was wonderful. I had such a great time. So what do? I go home and I tell my family I had such a great time. It was such a good movie. Like the crowd was it was just like this wonderful, delightful experience. And the movie was great. My family goes without me. They fucking hate this movie. They hate it. It's stupid. It's dumb. Why is the kid there? The special effects are bad. Like, where is the story? Like, it got silly and slapstick. I didn't enjoy this. Okay. Now, that is a theme. That is a theme that will repeat throughout my life, but also throughout the media. Remember I said the critics didn't like this movie. Let's go back. Let's go back to when Steven Spielberg released Hook with Robin Williams. That movie for children, life-changing, amazing, groundbreaking. Rufio, like, come on. I
mean, it's a movie that like transcends generations. That's a movie you show your kids. It's an adventure movie. I mean, they're few and far between now.
Now, I grew up in a situation where my summers were spent in a camp-like situation, and they had themed nights, and one of the nights was Hook was playing. It was a movie night, and Hook was playing, and people walked out. People walked out, and I remember I was working the doors because, like, you know, I was there. I had to work. I was working the doors, and I kept opening the doors. People were leaving. It was stupid. It was kiddish. What is the point of this? Why are they making? You know, none of this. None of this. Okay, so again, critics hated that movie. Life-changing for children. We see this kind of pattern kind of happening. And I do feel like that mentality has kind of contributed to the decline of pure adventure movies. I say that as they are currently filming Jumanji, like, I don't know, fucking 1,000, but, and they're great. Like, don't get me wrong. The new Jumanjis are super fun. And there are other adventure movies, but like, can you tell me why there isn't another National Treasure? Like, there are other things. So I'll get off my soapbox now. But I think all of these things are kind of interconnected. And as I say that they are currently filming the new Jumanji, they are confirmed for another Mummy, I believe 4 with all the original cast. So that is also something to consider. But that personally, I think might just be driven by 1, money, and 2, the deep, deep nostalgia that millennials have.
Yeah, I feel like it's entirely nostalgia, because if you were to bring another The Mummy to the franchise, people would say why. There would be no, because to what you're saying, the decline of action movies, action family movies too, because this is one of those things that it was like, it's good for the whole family or not. Like it has like an all audience kind of feel to it. And I don't know, like, I wouldn't go see any Mummy. But now that the original cast is coming back, sign me the fuck up.
Well, and you remind me of my final point. Thank you, Jessica Marie. Over the holiday break, the Mummy, the new Mummy, the one with Tom Cruise. Now, I love Tom Cruise. I know. I'm sorry. It's my toxic trait. I love Tom Cruise. He made the Mummy, and I'm sorry. What? Fuck off on that. You can't do that. So I didn't see that. I'm not going to give that my attention. And lo and behold, the adults in my life over the holiday break watched that movie and fucking loved it. They thought it was great. So again, patterns are repeating. The fun is gone. We want the serious. And I don't know why, when the world is burning, that we want the serious, but I guess some people do.
Well, and this reminds me, and we discussed it in our Moulin Rouge episode also a while back, was that was not received well by critics either. And you had even shared that, like, your family had seen that and they shitted on it also, and you were like, this was the most life-altering thing of my life. And you know what? No, because I feel like I'm going to answer my own question, because there was a time where you would say, like, oh, I didn't watch this movie because I thought it was, like, too cool for school kind of thing. But that wouldn't have been impacted by, like, the adults around you saying, like, sticking their nose up at certain things. It was just because they were also different genres.
Right. Yeah. The adults really didn't have any impact on anything.
I was like, you are very much your own person. What am I saying?
Yeah. But it's also just like, when it is more that silent disapproval where you're so excited about something and then they are like, well, and
it's a contributing factor, and I can speak for myself, but I know I'm not alone in this, in sharing the things you love with family members.
Well, it's a very vulnerable thing.
Yeah, because to have that thing that you love be, I don't want to say taken from you, but like you said, there's a silent judgment, even if you don't give a fuck what they think. And this isn't even just family members. There are things that you share with people that you're like, I love this thing. And someone's like, that's great. I would think less of you. Like, if anything, someone's like, well, that's pedantic. What? Like that, I can't imagine. Just, you're like, okay, well, lesson learned. I'm going to go ahead and continue with the life and the things that I love, because here we are in 2026. And I know in 2025, we kept saying, like, 2025, survive, finding joy. There is nothing wrong still trying to carve out and find little pieces of joy in the hellscape that we're in.
Yeah, get your kicks in 2026 wherever you can. Like, I think that's really important.
Ooh, I like that. That should be this year. Yeah. I love it. How long have you been sitting on that one?
A while. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it during my road trip in Arizona, because I was just blasted with Route 66 everywhere. And I was like, oh, well, that's right in front of me. Let's just use that for the pod. Get your kicks in 2026 with ACOFAE Podcast.
I'm obsessed.
All right, so let's dive into the hottest cast alive, The Mummy Returns, The Mummy 2. We can't talk about this movie without talking about The Rock. The Rock. One speaking line translated to "it's hot as hell." Fantastic. Fantastic. We love that.
And his only lines are spoken in ancient Egyptian.
Yeah, fantastic.
Ancient Arabic, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they say ancient Egyptian in the movie, but the captions say Arabic. So
yeah.
That is my disclaimer. That is my disclaimer. The captions say Arabic. So that's what I'm going to go with. Cold Open, 367 Thebes. We love that. The Rock, he's got the bracelet on. Fantastic. Anubis, I have right here. Anubis.
Oh, he's so fresh, which I don't like. I had to look it up, actually, because the way they were portraying Anubis here.
Awful.
I was like, one, this is awful. Two, I felt like I was being gaslit, because I didn't think that Anubis was a bad guy. He's a keeper of the underworld. He's a keeper of souls. Like all this. I went back to say, like, is Anubis bad or good? Like, did I remember this wrong? No, I didn't. I did not remember it incorrectly. How he's portrayed here is very negative.
Yeah, we're not talking about accuracy. Accuracy is out the door, and that's fine. Because, again, we're having fun. There's a child involved in this movie that goes on an adventure. We are having fun here. And if that isn't evident by The Rock's acting, then I don't know what is. Just fantastic stuff here. Eating that, like, really gooey scorpion. Just great stuff. The Rock trades his army for, serving Anubis, leading his army, whatever.
The second Anubis took him, he's like, oh my gosh, all my army left. I just wanted to defeat them. And Anubis is like, bet, I will have your soul. All you ask for is to defeat them. If there's something we always say, be specific with your wishes, because they defeated him and Anubis snatched his soul right up. I was like, oh, the second I saw the bracelet drop, I go, he wasn't specific.
Yep, wasn't specific. Gotta be specific with your wishes.
Specific enough.
Be so specific with your wishes, my guy, because now you're a giant scorpion stuck in that damn pyramid. You gotta fight Napoleon, and you gotta fight Ramses, and you gotta fight Caesar, all these people. All right, so the plot of our movie is the Scorpion King is like waiting to be awakened for his army to take over the world. Oh, the old take over the world ploy. We'll get to Jonathan. I love this, Jessica Marie, because I know that you know that it is far between London and Egypt, and hopping between London and Egypt does not happen within the 7-day time period that they have here. Accuracy is talking about
logistics. We talk about logistics, and then you have Rick saying, we need a magic carpet. I was like, yeah, I've listened to A Whole New World. They literally traveled the whole world in 30 minutes. You very much do need a magic carpet to find out that the blimp is just named the magic carpet. I was like, you know what? We're here for fun. But I can tell you what, I didn't read those or listen to those critics clearly because I never saw the movie. But I can tell you they weren't doing fact checks with their opinions. So there's no way that they brought up logistics. But a lot of the things. And then there was like a part where they had a train. And I was like, is there even a train in the desert in 1933? However, I do remember you and Editor Sam being on a train and being violently ill. So then I was like, oh, yeah, there is a train over there.
Absolutely. Editor Sam lost everything on that train between Cairo and Luxor. Yes, he did.
Fun fact, just like The Rock did, he got severe food poisoning and heat stroke that he lost over 10 pounds.
Yep, it happens.
So, Editor Sam, you and The Rock are comrades in this.
I believe Editor Sam's was a accidental swipe of the toothbrush under the faucet. I believe. Yeah. So again, we're not talking about accuracy because like Nefertiti and Seti, like let's not talk about timelines. Let's just say we celebrate the names and the spirit of the people, and we love that they are being mashed together here. So fun.
Okay, because it was another thing, and I was like, I don't remember these two names. There were references in the book, but I didn't remember the overlap.
It's fine. It's vibes. We're reincarnated princesses. It's fine. Okay. 1933 Egypt. This is fun. We love this. The shot of Rick in the temple, this like profile shot. Oh my God. All right. We already know.
He's so hot. I have to say, shout out also to Jacqueline Benson, because as I'm watching Rick O'Connell and also like Adam Bates, it was perfect. And then when I was seeing Jonathan, I was like, Neil's here too. I was just like, as if I never saw, I felt like I had to be, when people are like, I wish I could lose my memory and do these things all over again. That's what this felt like. Like, I didn't know they were the hottest cast ever. Like, I didn't know I was going to see the same exact people. And we have just been riding this, like, gaslamp fantasy high for the last year that we're just like, again, it was like, what? You're here too?
Well, honestly, the planning with this is like really great because you have like so much, like you specifically, Jessica Marie, have like so much in your head to like really make this, like cement all of this, right? Like you've got all of Jacqueline Benson's like amazing stuff that we've read. We've got The Mummy. We have Nefertiti. Like we have all of this information. We can like kind of see it all here in this adventure setting. It's just like a really fun payoff.
Yeah, it is. And you know what is also really fun? It's just like, we tie in so many different things, really, because it's just like we feel like covering it. And when we'll be airing this episode, it'll be like the 25th anniversary of this movie specifically. So it's also like one of those, and maybe because it's also a period piece, that it's, even though the CGI is a little whack, it still plays so well. Like it feels timeless. Despite because it's fun. It's when you remember, and even the critics are like, oh, what was the story? Honestly, story doesn't matter.
Who cares?
I've read books that are worse, and this isn't even bad. Like, this is arguably like a good sequel.
Yes. And it's when it was on TV, it was one of those movies that you watch on TV all the time. Like it's, you can cut it for commercials very easily. Like they play it all the time. So super fun. Okay. So setting the scene, like Rick is going through the temple. Evie is cleaning the like scene of her fighting Anck-su-namun. That's like, they play that later. It's very fun. She's seeing flashbacks of herself. Again, I was riveted in the movie theater when she like flashes back and she's doing the lock and she sees herself. I was just like, that's what we're doing.
Well, I remember, I think I say this with love and affection. How can you spoil something 25 years later, spoiled it for me. And then I was like, no, really? One of our episodes, memory of a goldfish for that fact. It's either a memory of a goldfish or a memory of an elephant, depending on where I'm at with certain things. And then as I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is the reincarnation that Laura was telling me about. I was like, this is happening. That's right. So excited.
It's just so much fun. It's just so much fun. We have our 3 British villains. We're introduced to Alex, our precocious child. He's adorable. He's fun. He's witty. He is, surviving, like self-sufficient. I have no problems with Alex. He's like sassy to an extent, but he really cares for his parents. I have no problem. On the scale,
he's a good mix of them, yeah. And I like his sass back too, because when he does get spoiler, he does get kidnapped. He's like, I don't listen to my parents. What makes you think I'm going to listen to strangers?
Yeah, it's like, fuck you, my guy. Fuck you, my guy. So this movie, one of the reasons that the critics really hated this movie is because it did a lot of fan service to the first movie. And it is full of, like callbacks and like montages to other movies. A lot of Indiana Jones, a lot. But it's all like intentional on purpose. It's all like tongue in cheek. It's all like, like it's all a little nod. But there's a lot of references to the first Mummy movie. And the first one that I always notice is when the pillars fall down, right? Yeah. I mean, editor Sam had not seen this movie in a really, really, really long time. Also, memory of a goldfish. Watching this, saw the pillars go down. He goes, is that their kid? Because he just did the same thing that she did. I was like, yeah, that's their kid. He goes, ha. I was like, okay. No. I connected it earlier because he was like, oh, something about like your mom is desecrating and it flashes to Evie. And I go, oh, okay. So that's his mom. Like that's when I picked it up. But I loved the callback to, except those pillars. And I'm like, it's 1933. I guess, it's just like the Gen X and the Boomer generations. They didn't care about their kids as long as they were somewhere. Yeah, somewhere. Go upstairs, build a mousetrap, get out of here. Super fun. Another callback to, we need to open this. Evie, we can't just open a chest. Why? No harm ever came from opening a chest. And Rick goes, and no harm ever came from opening a book. You remember what happened there, Evie? Do you remember the plot of the first movie that you started? And she does it anyway. And it is hilarious. It's super fun. Again, something that as a fan, which is service to me, I eat that shit up because it's like,
yes, I love it all.
And it also, stuff like that also, here's another thing. Stuff like that also shows me that the people involved saw the fucking first one. And it's not a given that the director of a sequel is going to take the time to watch the first one. It is just not something that is guaranteed to happen, and especially in a series where there can be multiple directors, like Harry Potter, for example. Like, there are so many directors that have their own style that don't want to be influenced by the style of the first director. It's like this whole thing.
They want to make it their own.
Yeah,
they want to have their own influence.
Yeah, like,
do they want to service the fans? Do they not? Like, but this is there's so many different ways it could go. And then from the critic standpoint, you're going to like, and this is even till this day, you still have the, like you said, oh, this is fan service. This is fan service. And then you have us, like when we talk about Shadowhunters, we were like, oh, Cassie is giving us so much fan service. Num, 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 num. Give it to us, please.
Yeah, I think it's nice. I think it shows that everybody involved knows the first movie and is actively putting this stuff into this movie. I think it shows respect for the first movie and the source material.
And the people who are the reason you have a second movie.
Yeah.
You're able to have a second and any type of follow-up, not just with this, but like books too. You can keep writing this and you can keep doing this because people are monetarily showing you, yes, we'll support you.
Yeah, okay. I'll get off my soapbox.
Sorry, it's like we could always go into it, but anyway.
We can go into it. But anyway, so what happens? There's a curse. Well, not a curse, but like the complex has to destroy itself, obviously, because of course it does. The Nile comes in, the pillars fall, everybody's safe. We flash to Hamunaptra, where we last left the first movie. And they are evil museum curator, which I just love. And it's such a great trope, Ghostbusters callback. But our evil curator and the reincarnation of Anck-su-namun, love her. She's so nice in person too. They're looking for and digging up Imhotep, and lots of things happen to prove that they are getting close. They find him, and they say, the book of the dead, the book of the living, keep this with you always. We need to raise Imhotep's servants with the bracelet. We have to get the bracelet. Our British, they're obviously British. Our British thugs come and tell us that they didn't get the information, but that they know where it is. It's in London. And Anck-su-namun, I'm just going to call her that. It's easier. And her minions are going to go to London to track down the bracelet of the Scorpion King. And then we have to assume that they are teleporting. Because they're just, there's no way. So, what? Okay.
Because they were in Egypt, and then they end up home back in London, and then they, as a family, and then they go to the British Museum, and then everybody's going back to Egypt.
Traveling from Egypt to England by boat in 1933 using large passenger lines of the area would typically take about 2 weeks, often including a Mediterranean leg to Gibraltar or Marseille, and then an Atlantic crossing, or a longer route through the Suez Canal around Africa. But direct Mediterranean routes were common with luxury liners, making good time, but not as fast as later record breakers. So okay, call it 2 weeks. He's got a week to live.
I was gonna say that kid would have been dead on arrival. DOA. That kid's getting ashed on the boat.
Done. He's absolutely dead. He's dead as fuck. There's no way. Because even if you're like, I'm going to give them grace and say, we'll use the least amount of time. They're no like, way. They have money. Let's use the luxury line. Oh, use the luxury line. You get there in a week. You're still not at the pyramid. You're just in the fucking port of Cairo. You still have to go. You still have to go. So no. So again, we assume everybody has magic and we are teleporting, because not only do Rick, Alex, and Evie immediately go home to London, but so does Anoxinamun and all of her evil minions. Directly after them, they are right behind them by minutes.
By minutes, and behind them by seconds is Ardith.
Yes.
On horseback.
Yes. Our king. Our absolute glorious tattooed king. So again, allowing for joy. Everybody's teleporting. It's super fun. I want to live in their house. Their house is very important to me. I have a connection to this home. It is gorgeous.
Well, when I was looking at fun facts, this house was used in the first movie as the library.
Yeah. Just imagine. Just give it. You know what? Give it to me.
Oh, and apparently, I say Rick Connell, Brendan Fraser wanted them to have like an apartment, like, you know, a little townhouse in London. But for the fight scene, they needed the space. So that's why they used the house.
I just love it so much. It is just so beautiful. Okay. So what happens in the house? Child neglect? I don't know. I kind of see this as an example of what happens when your parents are distractingly in love. Because Rick and Evie are talking each other into another adventure because they cannot sit still. They have this, they're like, oh, we need to stay home. Oh, the Bembridge scholars are begging me to take on the museum. Call back to the very beginning of the first movie. But they don't have any time to settle. She's like, oh, then we're already packed. Meanwhile, Alex is just like fucking around downstairs.
He's just being like an 8-year-old kid. He's getting into like, oh, y'all had me, you know, drag this chest out of the pyramids. I guess I'll open it while you're distracted. Because he's like,
well, I guess technically he doesn't open it. It opens itself.
Yes.
So,
yes, and he is the chosen one. But like,
I find that to be an important distinction to make him a not annoying child because he didn't seek it out. He didn't like pry it open. He wasn't like trying to steal it. He wasn't being mischievous. It just opened, and that really kind of sets him in like a competent child instead of like, you're so annoying. You deserve all of this kind of child.
Well, even his mom, she was like, give me the necklace. And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's just not, I didn't touch it. I didn't lose it. It's just not there. And which is, no, of course, she doesn't know she's reincarnated. All of these things. She's like, nothing is connecting right now. And of course, it later connects. But it's the version of the child where he's like, I'm not lying, I swear. And your parents are like, oh, okay. And she's like, I don't care. I don't have time for this right now. Just get that shit off of you.
Yeah, Evie doesn't have time because she has been having reincarnated princess dreams for 6 weeks ever since the Egyptian New Year. And right now we are in the year of the Scorpion. That's not important. That's not important at all. No. But we're trying to convince everybody to go to the Oasis. It is the resting place of the army of Anubis, the Scorpion King's army. Whatever. There is an attack here. You know, the cars roll up, the lights go off, and Ardith arrives. And no hesitation on Ardith. He's fighting. He's like, who are they? What's in the box? What's going on, Evie?
I'm on your side, but I need some information. And then because then he's like, got it. Don't let them get it. Keeps fighting. Like, just no.
Yeah, he's like, all right, lock in. And of course, Ardith, I love him, and I'm bringing him up because he has his own like little storyline of like personal beef with Lochna, one of Anoxinamun's like evil minions, and Lochna's like Magi, and Ardith is like, hey, fuck you, guy. Like, all right.
It's almost like I was here to protect the O'Connells before. Now I'm doubling down now.
It's like, now we got beef. Like, now we fight.
Now it's personal.
and that is a theme that will carry itself to the end of this movie, which I just love. I think it's very fun. Alex, of course, bracelet on, having visions of Giza and Karnak, and he throws another statue in the box. That's important later. That's very important later. Jonathan. Jonathan is in this house. Jonathan comes in with a woman and is mistaken from a Noxinamoon or by a Noxinamoon for Rick, which I think is funny because when I saw this for the first time, I was like, doesn't she recognize him? No, she was a desiccated mummy in the first movie. We just saw her on the balcony. We saw her alive. But that time when everybody was interacting at the very end of the first Mummy movie, she was just a mummy. Like, she was not like...
I was thinking that too. And I was like, I'm just going to go. I thought it was one of those, like, I'm going to go with it. I'm not questioning anything. I'm here for the vibes because, I can get too, I can get too into it. And I was like, nope. Because one of the things, especially when we talk about new movies or movies that I haven't seen yet, it's watch once for vibes. Don't question anything. Just go with it. And then we can follow up.
It's so funny. I just love it so much because then, cause Jonathan doesn't recognize her either because like, of course not. She was a mummy. So I think it's funny later on when they connect all the dots and they're kind of like, oh, well, we saw her. It's kind of weird. Like, it's a little
awkward.
It's weird. But Jonathan gets in on the fight. He kind of like kicks in, like that's how it starts. And then everybody has their own kind of like battles, that end up with Evie being kidnapped and taken to the museum. Again, we just love a Ghostbusters, 2 callback. We love. And we have to go off to the museum. But first it's the 4 boys. And I love these 4 boys together.
I love when Rick takes control because I really love when Rick takes control. When he is like, you in the car, you're in trouble. Like, we got to figure our shit out. My wife, which, you know what I really love? And I was really glad that the movie and the writing, it didn't make them be like this married couple that they're like, oh, we're so boring and now we have to go on this adventure. No, like they've been adventuring this whole time. Being married and choosing to have a family didn't change them. And I think that's exciting because that sometimes could be the storyline. I mean, we talk about it again, Shadowhunters with James and Cordelia. She's like, are things going to be different if we have like some breathing room and we're not always on an adventure? And I love that they're like, no, they're still the same people. They haven't changed. If anything, like they've brought their kid along with them and their kid is smart as hell.
Yeah, he's smart as hell. He's very capable. He gets pissed off when he has to wait in the car with Jonathan, but that works out for the best. We love it.
And he even calls out. He's like, Uncle I'm 8. Why are you asking? You're an adult.
Act like an adult. Amazing. I love it. I love their relationship too. Alex has the bracelet on again. He has 7 days. Then the king is going to awaken. And then if Alex is not in the pyramid by dawn of the 7th day, he will die. So logistically, he's already dead. But we're going with it. We're going with
movie
it.
Magic.
Movie magic. I love this museum scene. I think it's very fun. I love like chanting and doing, dark magic in the basement of a museum. I mean, just so fun. I love when Rick and Ardith are sneaking through and the mummies start waking up and just like, it's great. It's great. Oh, Night at the Museum is another really good kind of adventure movie.
Yeah, the whole thing. I think it's like a trilogy now.
Yeah, they're all good. Okay, so here, I love this movie, but it's so obvious that they didn't like really plan out a sequel before. A sequel was not really in mind when the first one was being made because the reincarnated princess stuff, I can get behind, whatever. But this addition of Rick being like a warrior for God because all of a sudden he has this tattoo here when we had a whole movie with him where we didn't have a tattoo here annoys me. And it annoys me still.
Well, because it also isn't a tattoo that he had received in the 8-year time frame. It was a tattoo he received as a child at the orphanage in Cairo, which that also threw me off because I remember in the first one, he wasn't an orphan. He was an adventurer / like ex whatever from America, just like looking for like money. He's like, oh, what's a quick way to get money? It was a completely different storyline. But how did you watch this? I watched this through Amazon Prime.
Yes.
So this is where we got our pop-up video facts again. And I couldn't keep track because every time there were I don't say one of multiple, more than multiple. It would say like, lack of consistency facts.
Yes.
So, and I got to the point where I was like, okay, I don't care. Keep this screen. It was just like, oh, and here's some more inconsistency between not this movie, but between the first and the second one. I was like, okay, whatever. Okay, I'm going on with my life.
Yeah, it's just, but the tattoo thing specifically is just like, that would have been such an easy, but whatever. They have a whole little stranger in the east seeking that which is lost. I am from the west. I am whom you seek. They have a whole little thing. It's fun. It's fun. Whatever. Evil chanting, fantastic. I love the guy that's on his knees holding up the book that the evil curator is reading from. Fantastic. How do you get that job? Imhotep awakes. Look, they spent all their money on him, and that's fine, because he still looks good as the mummy. That CGI still holds up, like, of his face. Yeah.
That's good. I feel like, I was going to say, like, I even feel like the Magi armies hold up, but then I think for the most part, this isn't 2026 when they're using AI for their extras. Like, those are extras.
Yeah. So I feel like you can see where the budget went. Imhotep's awake. I love it. Pissed off immediately pissed off, storming around. What year is it? What's going on?
I gotta do this again? Like, cause this isn't the first time he's been resurrected either.
Yeah, for real. And our evil curator is like, it's the year of the scorpion. He's like, really? Cool, let's go. All right.
And then
let's go. We're introduced.
Is, like, so hyped up. Because even when they're talking about the scepter, that they have the scepter of Osiris,
he's like, I don't need that shit.
I don't need that. When they're done, by the time they get to us, we don't need it. We are fine. He's ready to rally.
Which is so funny. And then we're introduced to Anaxinamun and the concept, and Imhotep is like, yes, your reincarnated body, not soul. We'll work on that. But like, let's make out a little bit.
Every time he's in his like desecrated body and Nisaman is making out with him. I think that part's funny because everyone's like, you're all seeing this, right? Like, she is in it with.
And the curator makes the face like,
that is a dead body. He is decayed.
Like, whoa.
And everyone's like, yeah. But who always gets the last laugh is Imhotep, because he's sucking the soul from everybody else. And he's like, energy, what?
So what happens when everybody escapes the museum is a London double-decker bus chase / fight through London. Now, when you look at it on screen, it sure looks a lot. Like the bus from the Harry Potter movies, specifically the Knight's bus in The Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, after the littlest research, the barest research, the Prisoner of Azkaban book out in 99, the movie out in 2004. So, in influence, who can say? One on the other, who can say? They're very similar. It's very clear on the dates what came first and what is what. So, but that whole sequence is just pure fun, silliness and fun and jokes and tension and action and teamwork and shenanigans, and I love it. And we're in London because, God damn it, we're in a double-decker bus and we paid the money for the aerial shot, so we're getting it of the bridge.
And not only that, it's not a set that they built. They got permission to shut down London's Tower Bridge for these scenes, which could only be shut down for 20 minutes at a time. And then, because there was so much traffic backup, they would say like, okay, well, how about we actually need to do it in like 10-minute increments so they could let traffic flow. So I was looking at that scene and I was like, there's no way. I wonder if they really did. And through fun fact research, they really did shut it down. And I think that's so cool.
It is movie magic. Movie magic. We love it. Of course, the guards that are chasing them are a callback from the guards in the first movie. All right. So when I said earlier that slight child neglect with Alex again, because Rick and Evie are just so in love and they want to fuck after an adrenaline rush. And that's what they're like making out in the bus after this. They're like, hey, hey, hey. And Jonathan and Alex are like, gross. And then Alex is like, bye, I'm being kidnapped. Peace.
I have like, again, throwing logic out the window. The bus door is still open. And I've thought of this at the end of the movie too, when the bracelet is off of Alex, spoiler, and then Evie gets gutted, and I'm like, does nobody watch Anybody 6 after all of this adventure? Like nobody is watching anybody's back. Like that's the first head on a swivel, people.
Head on a swivel is not conducive to the plot. So,
and so I was like, logic out the window.
Out the window, out the window. Alex is kidnapped. We love it. We need a magic carpet. We need a magic carpet. We have to fly. To Cairo because we have 7 days. This is the 7-day timeline. Alex says when he's on the train talking to Imhotep, like, holy shit, I only got 5 days left. Dude, you are on negative time. You are dead in the ground. You are bones. You are dust.
You have been dead. This is a dream.
This is all a dream. Your parents are deep in grief. They are hallucinating this. Like, this is not real. You're in the underworld. This is just fantastical. It is absolutely beyond the scope of reason to think that, like, because not just that all of them, the villains and the heroes have to leave London and go immediately back to Egypt after just spending at least 2 weeks to get there.
And don't the villains have a little bit of lead time?
Just enough.
Logic, I know. Out the window.
Just enough. It's just crazy talk. It's crazy talk. And then so all of us get from London to Cairo in a day. And sure. And then our villains are on a train and they're going to Karnak, which is fantastic. I've been to Karnak. Let's not talk about the accuracy. We're not here for that. We're here for vibes. We're here for fun. It's all super, super fun. This is fun because 1, I love trains like this. 2, it's all decked out and that's super fun. 3, I love that Imhotep and Anaxinamun just fucking play these people like fiddles. They're like, oh, you want more money? Let's go get you some more money, my guy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna lock you in this room. Yeah, it's creepy shit, man. Open the chest. Open it. That's what that do it, man. Oh, now you're all dead. Crazy. Wild. I love it.
Look, they are not smart people. We know this. They are not the educated. They are on a power trip thinking that they have control. And then they're doing what is being told of them, and that'll serve them really well in the end.
Yep. So everybody's trying to get to Amshare. Like, our final destination is Amshare. I'm bringing this up because during this conversation with Anaxinamun, and I believe the evil curator, he says to you, keep the Book of the Dead. Now, we know the Book of the Dead brings life. Keep the Book of the Dead on you always, Anaxinamun. Always, always, always. That's not important. Not important. We do not need that later. No. No. Imhotep and Alex have their little conversation. That is like super fun. He says, you're going to die. They end up getting to Karnak, and Alex has this whole like escape thing through a poopy toilet for no reason because they're already at Karnak. Whatever.
Again, logic, because what I thought, like, he fully stops the train. Good for him. But then, because all of the soldiers, warriors are at the top, he runs in the direction that everybody is looking. And in my head, I was like, oh, he's going to stop the train and then he'll hold on at the bottom of the guardrail so they don't see which way he's going. Wait for the train to start moving again. And then as it's slowly moving and they're going forward, then he'll like tuck and roll off. Because then that's just where my mind went. Because that made sense. Don't let them know your next move. But again, he's 8.
He's 8. See, all of that. He's 8. He might be capable, but he's still a child. And I think that him being 8, keeping his head, cussing out the villains, and leaving clues.
So smart.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what Alex is doing. And we'll catch up with our villains. We have to meet Izzy. Izzy's super fun. He's our balloon captain. And he wears an eye patch. He doesn't need it. He got shot in the ass. I don't want to be with you, O'Connell. You and that belly dancer girl. Izzy, you and I should talk. We love it. We love it. He's super fun. We get him to take us up in a balloon to go find our son. And we're trailing after him. Ardith joins us. Yes, he does. And so does his falcon, Horace.
I love them. I can, you know what? This is also, I was going to say it's a good plane movie, but it's just a good everything movie. But I was going to say, like, it's a good movie that you could just keep on and just mute and just look.
Yeah.
Just get distracted. Yeah, I have no problems with this, any of these scenes. Horace is wonderful. Horace is our like carrier falcon / hawk and is constantly updating us. Poor Ardith was heartbroken when Horace gets shot down. Fair. And he straight up tells Rick, I gotta go. My bird's dead. Oh, poor Ardith.
I just love him so much. All right. So I mentioned that I saw this in the movie theater, and I saw it with a great crowd in the movie theater. Let me tell you, when Evie has her vision, and when she's on the boat, she has her vision, and she is transported to the fight in the throne room with Anck-su-namun, while Anck-su-namun is receiving her soul back at Karnak. That's what is happening with everybody. People gasped. People were, during the fight scene, people were cheering, gasping, clapping. I cannot tell you. The part at the kind of end of this flashback where Anck-su-namun kind of like turns her head and kind of like makes eyes at Imhotep as he walks by. The crowd was like, you cheating bitch. Don't you do it was fantastic. It was so much fun. I cannot emphasize enough how wonderful this was. And again, for me, with my ancient Egyptian hyperfixation, seeing this kind of play out in a semi-serious, colorful way, even though we're not. Again, wonderful, super fun. Women against women, but they each get. She was never going to marry her father, so that's fine. And she gets to guard the bracelet of Anubis. Amazing. And I love, personally, that we get to see the balcony scene from the first movie from her perspective. And she's the one that calls the guards. I love that.
Which was so great, because I can't remember if we brought it up in the episode because we covered the mummy also. Where I was like, these are terrible soldiers. They weren't protecting the king. They were a little too late. How do we know? How did they know but by the time they finally showed up, it was too late. And now we see why they were guarding the downstairs, not realizing he was already upstairs.
It's just, it's wonderful. It's just so much fun.
We got a full circle. Thank you. I got closure there, because I think we were shitting, or me personally. I was like, what the fuck? But you already knew. You're like, I'm not saying anything. I've already seen the second one. You clearly have not. So now we know.
It's just great stuff. It's great stuff. We're having fun. We're not worried about anything. We're not worried about accuracy. It's great. It's great. We get the balcony scene, we get the murder. Evie, and then Evie accepts that these are destinies. These are, my past life. Ardith is like, I fucking told you, Rick, I fucking told you. Suck my dick. Suck my dick. I told you. Your wife is on board. Come on. Triangle's the strongest shape. He does say that later. Not triangle is the strongest shape. But like, you're the three sides of the triangle.
different triangle. This is a pyramid.
I was like, Ardith, like, we're real close, buddy.
Well, I mean, triangle is the strongest shape if it was Ardith, Rick, and Evie. But talking about the destinies being fulfilled because their son is the other side of the pyramid, as he is the one who was destined to ensure that Imhotep stays dead and the Scorpion King, like, dies once and for all, basically. Or so we think. And Rick is still not buying this. Rick is like on all of this. And he is saying, no, it's just all coincidence. And Ardith is like, coincidence and fate. It's very fun. It's very fun. We mentioned that Alex is leaving clues. He is. So Karnak, the island, or Philae, the island temple, Abu Simbel, and then they just like kind of fuck off and don't tell us where we're going. Horus is spotted by the enemy and is shot down. The river takes the rest of our crew down, and we crash land, but we've made it to the island, to the oasis of Sher. We leave Izzy. This is just so classic. We leave Izzy with the blimp, with our airboat, and say like, fix it, Izzy. We're going to need you later at some, undisclosed time. We're going to need you. And you're just going to know where we're going to be and show up, and you'll be there. And it's going to be great. Yeah. We don't have cell phones. We don't have snail mail. You'll know.
Yeah, you'll know.
You'll feel the vibes. That's where we'll be, with the vibes.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Something that I think is a nod to parenthood is when Horus is killed, which is done tastefully off screen and we don't see it. But when he is killed, Ardith immediately goes, well, I gotta fuck off, you guys. I gotta go tell everybody where we are. Like, I gotta go. And Rick is like, I need you to save my son. Parents, right? Single-minded. And Ardith looks at him, and he looks at Evie, and then he looks at Jonathan, and he's like, all right, but like, just this, and then I'm going. Like, I'm not going to go into the pyramid on your adventure. Like, I'm going to go lead the armies after this, but
because again, there's still bigger stuff happening.
Right.
That's why he's like, I will help you with this, but there are still a lot of moving pieces at play. Because we've already know with the setup of the additional magi, he's like, here's the 12 commanders of other magi legions. So you're thinking, okay, 12 commanders, like that's also still not a lot till you see the behemoth amount of magis that each of those commanders are bringing.
Yeah. I mean, we are a force to be reckoned with. Okay, we can kind of blow through the rest of this kind of quickly. Our villains disturb our pygmy camp, and there is just Jurassic Park reference upon Jurassic Park reference upon Jurassic Park reference throughout this whole thing. The pygmies kind of take out everybody except for the main group. There's lots of like jokes in there that results in like gruesome death, but all bloodless and kind of done in a jokey manner. Quicksand thrown in there, a little bit of like, oh, they won't cross. It's a sacred burial ground. My bad. You're dead. Kind of stuff. Logs being blown up and very comical, like kind of Pirates of the Caribbean kind of stuff. Just, fun, silly stuff. Ardith has his battle with Lochna. Personal beef. And he wins. Of course he does.
Wins.
If there was a question.
Well, and this is also the scene of like, again, you have like I don't want to say the original three because we still have Ardith there, where Rick is showing, I don't want to say showing, but reminding Evie how to use her firearm. And even Evie having like a one-on-one with her brother. She's like, I get you're my brother, but that's my husband and my son. Don't fuck it up. Like, I'm obsessed. And she nails the shot every single time. And Jonathan comes through too, saving Ardith.
Yep. I have to say, John Hannah is so hot in person.
Didn't you say he has the prettiest blue eyes?
They're gorgeous. They are resting. Like, I saw him in 2025. I'm sure he's still gorgeous in 2026 if you have the chance. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So what happens here? Ardith fucks off because he's got to go lead all of the armies.
And Alex has been found.
Alex has been found.
We are reunited. Yeah. Alex is here.
Alex is here. He's been found. He has escaped everybody. He has been found. Everyone is reunited. And he, I love, tells the adults to shut up and listen. I'm going to die in like 3 minutes unless we haul ass to the temple and get this fuck all bracelet off of me. And I like that he does it. He's like, no, fucking listen. You need to do this or I'm going to die. And Rick does not hesitate. He like drags him, then picks him up and sprints through the jungle, gets him to the, which I think is funny, gets him to like the barracks, like outside of that pyramid. Like in my head, I was like, does that count? I thought you had to be like inside, but okay, it does. It counts. And that bracelet falls off of Alex. It is eventually, let's just complete this, picked up by the evil curator who uses it to unlock the Anubis army that Ardith spends the rest of the movie fighting. The curator gets his arm eaten off and he eventually is killed by the Scorpion King and pulled apart into lots of pieces. End of story for him.
No head, not dead. Yeah. But we got a head, so we're dead.
Yeah. Dead as fuck. Jess, this is the scene that you alluded to earlier. This is the scene where Anaxina Moon comes up behind Evie and stabs her in the fucking stomach, and she legitimately dies. And she dies in front of her brother, Alex, and Rick. And let me tell you, the theater was... It was a ruckus, let me tell you. They were
like full on gas because she fully dies. She's like dead. The thing happened. Happens, you know. Yeah, it's not like there's this illusion she still has time. She's dead. Yeah. Because to bring her back, we have to use the resurrection spell. Yeah. We have to, and it just so happens that Anaxina Moon was told to keep it on her at all times. And Alex, gets it from her, and Alex and Jonathan do end up resurrecting Evie, but she fucking dies, and like in Rick's arms, and he is watching her die, and he breaks down. Tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. And it is a very like sweet scene. However, on the second watch, of course, I've seen this 1,000 times. Like I know it heart by heart. But editor Sam was watching it with me, and there's this part where Evie's dying, and Rick goes, "Evie, tell me what to do," and Evie goes, "Take care of Alex," and Rick goes, "No." I did. He says it twice. He goes, "No." And he's saying is like, don't leave me. Like, but in the context, if you take it literal, he's saying no, like, no, don't leave me. No, don't leave. Like, don't say that.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
You're like contextual.
He's like, no. Fuck him.
You don't have a sister or something?
Yeah, he's an only child.
It's 1933. I was in an orphanage too with the new storyline.
Men abandon their children all the time. Like, oh my God.
I got adventures to fuck off to, Evie.
No, it's so fucking funny. If you are doubting me, go back and watch it. It is funny and it ruins the moment.
That's not what he said until you were like, no, this is how I go, oh, that's because that's how I process. He was like, no, like, don't say that. Don't, if you saying that means you're actually leaving, don't do that.
Imagine from her perspective, she's like, take care of our child. And he's like, no.
Screaming through your last breath. And then she says, I love you. And he says, no.
You're just like,
you're dying. And your husband's like, no, you don't.
It's hilarious. I encourage you to go back and watch it. It is so very, Very funny. Okay. And there's a big wide shot where they pull back and they see everything. There's no blood here, which of course is an indicator that she's like, not dead, but also it's a family movie. So there's that.
There's actually no blood in any of
any of it.
The killing massacre scenes.
Yep. So, all right, this is kind of like our end of it. Imhotep goes into the pyramid of the Scorpion King and is immediately stripped of his powers. And he is just like, all right, I can do this. I can do this as a mortal. That's fine. He goes into the pyramid and Noxinamun kind of stays out. Jonathan and Alex distract her, steal the book to resurrect Evie. And this is where we have this really wonderful, my favorite callback to the first movie where Alex is like, Uncle John, I don't know what the next character is. What is it? It's a stork. That is the whole interaction that Evie and Jonathan had before in the vital moments in the first movie. And that's why he's like, I know this one. Amenaphis. It's like, oh, it's so much fun. I love it so much. He's like, oh yeah, of course, that neither of them will ever forget that. Evie is alive. And then Evie fights Noxinamun, as like herself. And it's very fun because the Noxinamun is like, oh, you remember the old ways. And then Evie like punches her in the face and like knees her right in the crotch and is like, that's something new. It's like, oh, you get him. Pa, little tussle. Boo, boo. But she runs away after Evie cuts her face. Good stuff. Rick, though, doesn't know any of this and is on a personal beef to go kill Imhotep, completely forgetting this overarching Scorpion King situation. He is just really mad at Imhotep, which is wild because Imhotep isn't the one that killed Evie.
But he's associated with Noxinamun, so that's why he's like, you fucked with mine, I'm gonna, like, which you would think, like, I'm going to fuck with yours. I'm going to go after your loved one. But he's like, no, let's just remember, he just watched his wife die.
Right,
he watched the mother of the mother of his child. He is in full on, where he was in like full on parent mode, just like, it's only Alex. And I do also think like there was a moment when they were on like the airboat / blimp where that's all Evie was thinking about, and their adventures together. I think they were just like, yes, but he's smart. We got to trust the process. It'll be fine. So he was also in parent mode, and now he's shifted to like, I'm in revenge mode because all I can see, and probably the repeated visions, and he knows his son is safe because he's with Jonathan. He knows he's out, like, the bracelet is off of him, all the things. So I understand that part. What I love, oh no, never mind. I'm jumping ahead. Go ahead.
So all of this, but Rick is like, no, I'm going to kill you. And then somehow I have the energy to kill the Scorpion King. I just love, I love, white men trying to,
do you love white men? I guess you do.
I love white men trying to puzzle things out like this, and they just cannot do it. They can only focus on one thing at a time, the thing right in front of their fucking face.
Multitasking is not a forte of theirs.
Not a forte. Yeah, so personal beef takes over, and Rick and Imhotep have this battle going on. There's a gong banging, right? Like, there's flashing light on Rick as he's like going into the temple. It's this whole thing. They fight for a while, and both are very tired. And then they finally realize that, like, oh yeah, the Scorpion King is actually coming out. And what comes out is this monstrosity of rock flavored CGI that is just,
rock inspired.
Like, I don't even know.
You know what was crazy? Because again, with the fun facts or whatever, they completed this portion of the CGI 8 days before it was supposed to be turned in, and you could tell. You can tell. Like, it was almost like it wasn't like they were still working on it, and you just heard time at the end of your SAT and you had to drop your pencils.
Yeah.
That's what this felt like. Yeah. This CGI Scorpion Rock was like, Oh, this is what I'm submitting then. Let's see what grade we get. It's rough. It's rough.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. The Scorpion King, though, learned from Benny. Callback. Scorpion King comes out. Imhotep is like, hey, I'm your servant. I'm your servant, bruh. See,
I'm actually here for you.
See, this worked on me in the first movie, so I bet it'll work on you. And Rick is like, because Rick does not speak the language. So Rick is like, what the shit. And then he's got to fight both of them, which is amusing. But I think it's very funny that Imhotep pulls that off. During the course of running away from the Scorpion King, Rick sees hieroglyphics and reliefs of his tattoo and the scepter of Osiris in the back of like the tub. Logic is out the window here. We don't care. It's fine. And Rick is like, I'm a believer. And then what ensues is a very funny kind of gag with Rick, Jonathan, and Alex, where it's a spear. And like they can't open it, and it's like jostling around, and they need it, and it's all very fun, adventure, actiony plot stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like because we also have to remember that who has the scepter controls the army. So of course we finally get the spear the scepter spear, and it gets intercepted by Imhotep, and everybody's like, fuck! Imhotep isn't the one who's supposed to control everything. So then luckily Rick saves the day, grabs the sphere before Imhotep kills the Scorpion King, because it's only the scepter, the javelin scepter, that can kill the Scorpion King, and then it's whoever wielded that weapon would then control. So that's why it's so important for Imhotep not to be the one who threw and then of course, like Rick gets it, Rick kills him, hell opens, and then Imhotep and Rick are like hanging, literally getting pulled down by those in the underworld to get sucked into that. Like they portray it as hell, not just the underworld kind of thing. And he also knows that Evie is alive at this point, and he's like, oh my God, you're back. And Evie and Anaxinamun had been fighting, and that they did their final battle. And he's like, you go on without me. And Evie's like, they're both like, I just got you back. Fuck all. You're the love of my life. And Imhotep, who has been at this for over 3,000 years, killing and dying and being resurrected over and over again to try to get back with Anaxinamun, he's looking at, like, at one point, she is like looking at Evie going to Rick, and she's like, oh damn, they like love each other. And then Imhotep is like, you're my girl, you're gonna do the same thing, right? Right? And she's like, piecing the fuck out. Actually, I'm here for me. Survival skills number uno, or so she thinks. And then he's like tearing up. He's like, but babe, did you say you love me? And like with his eyes, and he's crying, and he's like, she dips, and he's like, my life ain't worth living. And then he just like succumbs to the underworld, and she's running because she's like, I'm looking out for myself. And then she gets sucked into the underworld too by like, not the beetles, the scarabs. I got the letters right. I was like, I'm saying it. I know that's not the word. But she gets taken by the scarabs. So then she's out too. So we're done. That's the end of them. They're off living their afterlife. And Evie does save Rick. They leave, and now it's kind of like the conclusion. All the magic and everything in the pyramid, everything's getting like, okay, I gotta get sucked back up until the next 5,000 years when it's time to open up all over again. And so the Oasis is sucked in, the Scorpion King is sucked in, everything has been defeated. And oh, look, Izzy found out where to meet us. He showed up just in time. Just in time. Oh, look, Jonathan found the diamond on top of the pyramid, and he's going to take it with us. Oh, look, we're going to sail off into the sunset and make out while everybody goes ew. That's the end of the movie. That's it. It's like, boom. Done. And scene.
And scene. And they sail off into the sunset. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great stuff. So much fun. It's a long movie. I think it's like 210.
Yeah, it's long, but I feel like we were talking about this before we started recording, how it isn't until Evie gets kidnapped. It's just when she gets kidnapped. We haven't even left the British Museum yet. And that's at like 38 minutes. So we're already almost 45 minutes into the film, and it doesn't even feel like it. I really, when I was looking at the time, I was expecting it to be like 20 minutes. When I saw that it was almost double, I was like, wow, this is just so like you're riveted the entire time.
The entire time. So much fun. I do not have any fun facts because I have all of my real life lived experience that I have shared.
Have real facts
that I have shared with everybody. And Jess, you did a really fantastic job of sprinkling in fun facts as we went. Do you have any more to add?
There was like huge box office numbers. This movie grossed 68, like at this time, 68 million domestically, just opening weekend alone, which was the second biggest opening in history after The Lost World, Jurassic Park, which came out in 97, and which wasn't also that far off because that was 72 million. I thought that was really interesting. Again, like those seem like such small numbers compared to numbers that we've seen since. But I think like of all time during that time, that's pretty crazy. And then there was just like a lot of, like, I don't want to say ailments, but people got hurt. Brendan Fraser tore a spinal disc, cracked a rib, injured his knees during the production. I already shared that Dwayne Johnson had food poisoning. The brother, Jonathan, he thought of the bubbles in the tub during the scene earlier, and he actually hurt his knee because of like the slipperiness and that tub scene. And also what I think is so cool, Rachel Weisz and Patricia, who plays Anaxina Moon, they trained for 5 months for their fight scene. So that fight scene, they did the fight without any stunt performers, which that I think is so cool. And all the other facts I kind of sprinkled in. But I love when shit like that happens, when they're like, no, I want to do it. There were certain things in her contract that they were like, we really want you to go through a tumbling or crumbling set. And her contract was like, no. So I'm also curious what happened, like when they renegotiated the contracts, what changed from the first contract to the second one to be like, yeah, she's not doing that. And per legal, and as somebody who does work with legal departments, they don't fuck around.
Jessica Marie, do you have a favorite?
No!
Do you have a favorite? No. Who's the hottest member of this cast?
No, this is so weird. I feel like a voyeur. Like, I feel like I just want to watch them all the time. I don't want to pick. I just want to close my eyes and be like,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, like it really doesn't matter. I was like, and then I'm looking at Brendan Fraser, and I was like, yeah, I'd be making out with him all the time too. And then I'd be looking at Rachel, and I'd be like, yeah, I'd be making out with her all the time too. Then you got poor Ardith. Where's his action? He needs to get his kicks in 2026. Because did you see his new profile picture on IMDb? I was like, still, I just eat it all up. Just eat it all up. Don't make me choose. Why choose? This is why choose exists. All right, I'll throw it back to you. I know you won't pick. So is there an order? Like preferential, like your preference. You're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 6. Wait, I can't. I was like, wait. Cast.
Okay. In 2001.
Okay. Setting the scene.
Ardith, Rachel, Brendan, John, Anaxina Moon. Now, Rachel, John, Brendan.
John jumped.
John is so hot in person. He's so hot in person.
Note to self.
Yeah. In 2026, Rachel, John, Brendan, Ardith, an Oxymoon. An Oxymoon just because the others are just so stacked. Like, she is stunning in person. It's like nothing against her. It's just everybody else is just like, whoa. What a question. Wow. I really had to think about that. Just glorious, glorious stuff. Again, I feel your feeling of voyeurism. You're just like, should I be watching this? Is this like a private thing? I mean, you're all just like so gorgeous.
But I also don't want it to be a private thing. I'm like, I think it's the question of, do I want to watch or do I want to be in it? Depends on the mood.
Depends on the mood. You know, a cuck chair is there for a reason. And I think that's important and should not be an instrument of shame.
No shame at all.
No shame. No shame at all. No shame at all. If you're asking me what my favorite scene is, it's their fight scene. Just glorious, fantastic stuff. And one of the only movies where I really enjoy the child character.
Yeah.
A rarity.
Well, which, another fun fact, the reason, even though this movie was only filmed and like really released 2 years after the first one, the reason they jump ahead, like arguably like 10 years, I think it said, even though the child is 8. So they were like chilling, having super fun engagement time for 2 years, was that the director, he was like, I don't want to work with babies, which fair, because I like, not even like working with babies. It's just like the minor laws that are in place. Like they can only work 20 minutes now they can only work 20 minutes a day. I can't, and that's in 2026. And every state is different. Every place is different. But also, I can only imagine what it was like when it was filming this. I mean, hell, Mary-Kate and Ashley, they hired them because they would hire twins and multiples all the time to get as much time out of the kids. So, yeah, good for them. Yeah. He's a smart kid. He wasn't annoying, like you said. And I was kind of worried when I saw that there was a kid in it at first, but you learn really quickly that that's not the case. But with that being said, feel free to follow us on Instagram. We're at ACOFAE Podcast. We're also both on TikTok, ACOFAE Laura and ACOFAE Jessica. We're also on YouTube. We're working out some of those logistics for new title cards, but thanks for joining us and feel free to rate us 5 stars on any of your listening platforms. We'd appreciate it so much. Thanks, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.